Good morning. Today I'm going to talk to you about valence electrons and reactivity. We're going to start out with some vocabulary. First of all, I want to talk about electrons. Electrons are the negatively charged particles that surround the nucleus of the atom. These little guys who are floating around, the gray things floating around the colorful nucleus, those are electrons. They surround the nucleus and give it a negative charge. Now, the outermost level, this very outside level, the two on the outside, is called the valence shell, valence electrons. And this, all valence means is on the outside. So all these are electrons, but the two on the outside are called the valence electrons. A little more vocabulary. So we have ionic bonds, which means one of the electrons gets pulled off and put to the other one, and they both become positive and negative and stick together. That's ionic. Covalent means the two atoms have their valence shells connect and they share electrons. Now, in order to talk about this, we need to talk about the periodic table again. In the periodic table, we have 8 main periods, and those are the up and down columns. And each of these corresponds to the number of valence electrons. 1 valence electron, 2 valence electrons, 3 valence, 4 valence, 5 valence, 6 valence, 7 valence. And on the last column, everything except for helium has 8 valence electrons. Helium has 2. That's why it's kind of cut off. Now, the octet rule states that an atom wants to have a completely filled outermost shell, typically with 8 valence electrons around it. It will bind or connect to other atoms, ionically or covalently, to share or steal enough electrons so it may have 8. That's the octet rule. Now there's 2 bonds. Ionic bonding, which is one atom stealing an electron from the other, and the electron just sort of sticks to the other one because they both gain polarity like a magnet. And covalent, where they share electrons. Ionic, taking, covalent, sharing. Ionic bonds develop between the metals on the left side, first and second period, and the 6th and 7th on the right side. The right side, the halogens and nonmetals are going to grab an electron from the metal and pull it over. Because it loses an electron, the metal becomes positive, and because it gains an electron, the nonmetal becomes negative, and because they become positive, negative, they stick. Covalent. Covalent bonds happen between the 3rd and 5th parts of the periodic table, all the middle stuff, and they don't want to steal as much as they want to share. What's going to happen is the electrons on the outer valence shell are going to interact with electrons on other atoms' valence shells. Take a look at the carbon dioxide. We have 6 natural electrons on oxygen, and 2 of the electrons on carbon share to make an octet, 8. And over here we have the same 6 plus 2 from the carbon, and then make an octet. Also, we could say the carbon has 8 in the center, and we mark it up, by the way, the chemical notations and stuff on top. If you have any questions, here's our emails. Thank you and have a good day.